States Senator have a business mind. Nothing against people that have never had their own business or have never worked for business. Maybe they've worked for, in the public sector or for a government agency. Nothing against those good people and what they do. But here's the analogy I would use. Let's just say that you felt like you needed, think back to when maybe some of you still have small children at home, or even adolescent children, whatever. You've got children at home and you feel like you need some help, you need some parental counseling. You're saying, I'm just not getting this parenting job done very well. I've got some challenges and some needs here. I need somebody that's wiser than me to tell me how to be a better parent. Okay? Would you go seek counseling from somebody who had never had children? You probably would not, would you? You would probably seek counsel from somebody who has raised children. And so I just appeal to you, no matter who you vote for in this election, if it's not me, please vote for somebody that's got a business mind. Because there are several candidates that do not. Oh, now they could sell ice to an Eskimo, some of them. But don't drink the Kool-Aid this time. Be willing to have the courage to say something other than, we're going to just keep doing what we've always been doing. So I just beg you to please keep that in mind. If we don't get this economy turned around, these other issues of integrity and honesty and character and the Judeo-Christian values that we cherish, they'll be all for naught. You talk to any priest, minister, rabbi, marriage and family counselor, they will tell you that the main cause of family deterioration and divorce is financial stress. When people are scared about having a roof over their head and food on their table, it leads to so much tension that really nothing else matters until that problem is solved. And so that's why I'm going to devote most of my time to talking about the economy. Now, right now, I feel like the federal boot is on the neck of the American economy. All right? The regulations, the out-of-control executive orders, the out-of-control EPA, it's just one thing after another. And it is a clear violation of this document right here, the United States Constitution. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is the foundation of our republic. The foundation is cracked right now, okay? All across this state, because of the drought, foundations are cracking. In the Houston area, a lot of foundations are cracking. We've had no rain, hardly any at all. Foundations are cracking all over the place because, as you know, you're supposed to keep them kind of moist. Well, the foundation of our republic is cracked because the federal government is out of control. Folks, when a lizard in Midland, Odessa is a bigger concern to the federal government than the livelihood of hundreds of thousands of Texans and other citizens, something is major wrong. It is up to the states, according to the Constitution, to regulate things like jobs, endangered species, education. I could go on and on. But right now, the document is out of control because what has been ignored is Article 1, Section 1, which says that legislative powers belong to the Congress. That's a joke. As evidenced by daily dictates, at least Monday through Friday, dictates from such agencies as the EPA and others, telling we the people how to live and how not to live. And so if I'm your senator, many of the pieces of legislation that I introduce will begin with the following 5 words. This bill is to repeal, fill in the blank. I would start off with the vast powers of the EPA. Give those powers back to the states. The states are incredible competitors against one another. And they're great incubators of innovation. You see these gray hair. For 15 years, I've been on the school board in Magnolia ISD. That's an unpaid position, and would you undo that for me? I'm sorry, I don't think I can do that with one hand. Thank you, Honor. And I will tell you that many of these gray hair are a result of outrageous dictates, thank you, outrageous dictates from the Department of Education. You ladies that have straight hair, some of the stories I could tell you would curl your hair. Okay? Okay, we're in the same boat. See, and I don't even have to deal with it every day. That's just being on the school board, okay? But you think about it. If your hands were tied behind your back for 3/4 of the day, you'd have a hard time doing your job too. So those are some examples of why it is essential that we get the federal government off the neck of the American economy, and we do it by repealing these vast powers that Congress has given to them, even Republicans, okay? Because there are so many Republicans that, again, they don't have a business mind. They've been snookered by other folks. Well, let me tell you, I've been in business from 50 years old for 25 years. I've worked for myself for 25 years. And I have survived through thick and thin. You know, some of those months were thin, and, you know, we paid our help, but I didn't draw a paycheck that month. And thankfully, they've been few and far between. The Lord's been very gracious. And so I just thank Him and praise Him for His kindness. But I will tell you that if I hadn't been a good tightwad or, you know, frugal, you know, we would not have made it. But thankfully we have, and He's blessed us. But if you have made it through down cycle after down cycle after down cycle, I don't mean this to sound, I don't like it when people boast, but I'll just tell you that I think I've proven that I've got a halfway decent business mind. Or I wouldn't still be in business, and I wouldn't be before you tonight because I wouldn't be able to do it, okay? And so I will tell you that when businesses are able to compete without their hands tied, good things happen. A good example, about a year and a half ago, you will remember that the state of Illinois, those of you that watch the news, the state of Illinois increased their personal income tax. They have an income tax in Illinois. They increased their personal income tax and their state corporate tax by 2/3, okay? For their personal income tax, I think it went from 3% to 5%. And I forget what the numbers were on the corporate side, but I mean, it was outrageous. And sure enough, just as conservatives predicted, a few days after that, other states started running commercials in Illinois saying, bring your business to our state and we won't tax you near as much. Well, guess what? People that could started leaving Illinois. All right? And Caterpillar, which, as you know, is headquartered in Peoria, Illinois, they were not happy at all. So they went to the governor, and as I say, they kind of had a come to Jesus meeting with the governor and said, Governor, we're about to leave Illinois as well if you don't take care of our problem with this tax issue. And I've been told, I don't have proof on paper, y'all can do the Google research on your own, but I've been told that the Illinois legislature ponied up about $300 million worth of tax breaks and incentives to keep Caterpillar from leaving Illinois. All right? Because just as an example, today, Lori and I had a chance to tour the San Miguel power plant. Y'all know where that's at? About an hour from here, maybe an hour and 15 minutes from here. It's about 30 minutes south of Pleasanton, okay? And it's a lignite power plant. Massive operation, and they've got these massive trucks made by Caterpillar that can haul 100 tons of lignite. Well, they've told me, I said, how much do those trucks cost? $1.3 million. The tires on those trucks are about 7 feet tall. You know, just one tire to replace it's $8,000, you know. You wouldn't want to have a blowout in that, would you? You know, that'd get you. Well, anyway, so Caterpillar, you know, changed the mind of the governor, and they got some special treatment. But a lot of businesses that were smaller just said, let's get out of here. It's an example of how the states compete against each other. And so we've got to get that reform in place to repeal vast powers that currently belong to these federal agencies and departments and give that power back to the states. And then guess what? If y'all don't like the way, once again, if you don't like the way your state rep and your state senator are regulating things, you can, if there's enough people unhappy, you can